¿Cómo andamos, mi raza? It's your boy FranXDecal, and welcome, bienvenidos. Welcome to episode 2. Episodio número 2 de Behind the Facade, Full Story, Unscripted with your boy FranXDecal. Muchísimas gracias por estar conmigo otra noche. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. This should be up by Tuesday. Latest Wednesday. We'll see. But how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a great start of the week. Hope you guys had a great weekend as well. Busy, productive. I only DJ'd on Sunday. Yeah, and that's a story within itself. But only DJ'd on Sunday this weekend. Hope you guys had a much more productive. But regardless of gigs, we did get this off the ground, so I am happy, extremely happy about that. And we gotta keep it moving. Gotta keep it moving. I'm trying a different angle this time. Hopefully it looks better. Hopefully you guys can see me. I added another light in front of me, so hopefully, the image is clearer. If not, we'll keep growing. We'll keep changing. We'll keep adjusting until we have hopefully the setup of our liking. But welcome. Bienvenidos. This time I am truly doing it unscripted, no notes. I figured, you know what, we started that way, and that's good that your mind works that way, but, it may be complicating or overcomplicating things for people, so let's not do that, and we'll just, we'll do what we're doing right now, and we'll do it unscripted. We'll do it live, baby. And I do apologize if we hear any background noise. This is being filmed and recorded in my living room, so the door is right there, and I hear dogs and kids screaming. So, yeah. Welcome to Lanark Park. What's new? Where do we leave off? Yeah, I should have asked you how the weekend was in the first episode, but I was too in here. I was too locked in. You know those days when you lock in and you fuck up the most or you forget the most things. When you feel that you're prepared, but you're over prepared, so you kind of just fried your brain a little bit. So this time, just going with the flow. But hope everyone is doing well. Let's get this going. Where did we leave off? What is going on? What is going on? We have the scenario, 6-hour gig. We know the setup. We know the players. We know the current lineup. Let's introduce a couple more reputable players that have been in the game for years, decades, but just do things a little bit differently. And this one, the first one, there's going to be a couple. And I'm going to try to get it as detailed as possible. But I mean, I'm sure if you're active in the scene, and that you pay attention at least. You know the different people working in the different pockets. Whether it's once again the full production, big events, smaller events which are more like weddings, 100 to 200 people, which I think it's what we're talking about right now, which is, you have the production teams that dabble in it, and then you have the run of the mill working DJ, the full time DJ. So now this first player that we will introduce, once again, reputable, tried and tested, but for some reason, well, see, this is just the way my brain works. But let me right now I kind of caught myself. I was going to say for some reason has not taken the leap and focused solely on DJing, events, has not done the full-time DJing thing. And sometimes they have, but maybe things didn't pan out. Their significant other said, you know what, we need more money coming in. And the one I'm talking about is the DJ that has full-time work. Let's just say full-time. Could be part-time, full-time, whatever. But the one that only gigs on the weekends. The one that has maybe 3 gigs a month. And during the week, they do something else. They have another means of income. I got to figure out how to do this when I'm talking, taking all these deep breaths. It's not that I'm out of breath, but it's just it's more talking, so I gotta find new ways of breathing. I guess I don't even know, but yeah, catch myself. I don't know, weird. Thinking out loud. But yeah, so where were we? I guess the weekend warrior, the one that has full-time employment or does, has another means of income other than DJing. Player D. Is able to, obviously, if smart with money and not in total debt and I guess the regular world, if you want to say. But the one that's able to work and fund the DJing side of things. What would you call that? The DJ hobbyist? I don't even know. Would that be the name? No, right? Because they got a full business going on. It's just on the weekends. And if possible, realistically, if they wanted to, they could take this on full time, but for some reason they don't. And I guess the reason why I stopped myself earlier was because I felt like I was going to kind of say it in a negative way, but I don't think it is. I think it's just a real way, and that's why I backed it up with the last statement that I said. I do believe that if they wanted to, they can take it on fully, full time. Some of them are the ones, not all of them, but, that they have nice setups or they're able to get equipment a little quicker because they're able to self-fund due to another form of income. Form of income. ¿Sí me entienden? Can you guys hear me? Oh, that's another thing. I noticed that the volume, if you're watching it on TV, then it's not an issue because you could just put the volume up even higher. But sometimes I notice that when I'm watching it on my cell phone, it's kind of maxed out super low. So I'm going to have to, mess with it a little bit in Logic and go from there. Bump it up, boost it up a bit. So it's nice, loud and clear on the iPhone without headphones. But yeah, so now into the equation, we got player 4. Player DJ D. The weekend warrior. The DJ hobbyist. The one that only DJs on the weekends, 3 to 4 gigs a month. I'm sliding down. I don't want to say prices now at this point because I have no idea. I can only speak on the back end side of things. When I was the weekend warrior, when I had a full-time job as a dental assistant, I can only speak of that. And what I was thinking earlier of saying in this episode was, it's not high stress in the way that you think that you're just kind of like, fuck, what's going to go on? Because most of the time, if you're doing something, well, most of the time DJing is already the first thing that you were doing. Probably something that you've been doing. Once again, just speaking about me, my experience, DJing has always been my number one thing. It's crazy to think, and I thought about it last time. DJing has been there before any job. DJing has been there before any partner. DJ has been there before my kids. And shit, DJing would have, I think the only thing before DJing is my parents. Everything else is secondary to DJing. Which is weird because it's like, I know DJs will understand me, but it is extremely weird. Well, I mean, is it or not? I mean, I guess is all perspective. You've been doing something for such a long time that pretty much everything is secondary. And just in the sense of time, 100%, my kids are my number one now as an adult. But DJing has always been there. So, once again, back to the scenario. These DJs that have full-time jobs like me, that I had a full-time job, but I still, I couldn't let it go. And now here, hindsight. Now that we are in the future from that point of time into the present time, I did take the leap. Did it. Said, fuck it. We'll figure it out. And almost a decade in to the full time, who knows if it's working out? A lot of people would say, fuck, bro, that's too much stress. That's too much stress that you put on yourself. Just Just keep on doing your job, 9 to 5, and it's more predictable, and it is. Well, I mean, yes and no. Once again, perspective. If you do this long enough, I wouldn't even call them results, but opportunities pop up. And once again, if you're doing this long enough and you're active, I mean, like they say, if you're always ready, there's no need to get ready. So, the opportunities come and you just take them on. Then that's where you know, do in real life logistics. But, that's cool. Back to the scenario. 4 players. Player 4 is able to self-fund the dream. I remember, it was about 10 years ago, but when I was doing that, I do remember that I was able to offer lower prices. Competitive prices. That word that they like to use. Competitive pricing. Just watering down the prices. That's what it is. But you're able to, because you have a first, second means of income. No hate at all. That was me. And it can be me if I decide to, do that again. Because it's always a viable option. Like anything else, and when I started yesterday's pod with is, no one can ever take away your experiences. So those 10, 15 years, I'm milking it. Those 10, 12 years of dentistry, I can always go back if I need to. But the 22 years of DJing is telling me, just write it out, my G. And that's what we're doing. But player 4 changes it up a bit because they're able to price it differently. Now, once again, that changes the variables. A 300 an hour might look like 200 an hour. That 1800 package may look like 1500 an hour. It is what it is. These are the truths of the DJ world, the mobile DJ world. What I said the first pod. You got to be good at what you do, and not good just technically, good in the sense of managing your money, good at. I think managing your money is key. That's the number one. Knowing how to get creative when things, when certain gigs start to dry up. Start a podcast. But yeah, so that changes the variable of that gig. Once again, many outcomes to this gig. Many players. Good, good, bad. Depends on who you're asking. You got to get creative. You got to offer more things. You got to invest in yourself. I think this is what the pod's gonna be. It's gonna be a beginning and end in a sense. Not a contradiction, but we're starting at one point and we're hoping to get to another point. We're hoping what we started with, what got us there, we outgrow that, shed that skin, and grow something new, something totally different. Be better. Be more creative. Outcreate the next creator, if possible. Now, I gotta get some more. If you guys want to give me some ideas of new things to get, I'll get them. Now let's introduce another player, and this player is also DJ A and DJ B. This is what I like to call the DJ Avengers. And this is when multiple DJs team up for a gig. One bringing one thing, one other bringing another. And sometimes it's DJ A, B, and C. The production company handles the larger things. The DJ brings the sound. And the other DJ might bring the lighting. Shit, I don't know. That's one thing I've never done is be called upon. Avengers Unite. I don't know. I guess I'm not easy to work with. But yeah, so that's that's player number player number what the fuck. The DJ Avengers, the homies. Los conozco, los aprecio. We have dope conversations. But they're the ones that are out there networking. How they say, they're the ones shaking hands and kissing babies. They're the ones out there kissing ass. No se enojen, no se me enojen. But no, they're the ones out there networking, building relationships, taking anyone's money. Not my style, but once again, that's why I am here pleading. That's why I'm here, starting the conversation, so we can get somewhere. Not even fucking get somewhere. Shit. We're already, just to enjoy the ride. The DJ Avengers. Te digo, at this point, since I haven't been part of this, I can't speak on money. I can't speak on costs. So that's when I need, one of the DJ Avengers to tap in with me. Even though just out of my curiosity and my educated guess, I would say that they're like the production company where they're able, since they're all taking a little bit of their setup, they're able to price more competitively also. Another variable to this complex equation. And I didn't even fucking say a photo booth, which is pretty much standard in pretty much any event now, just for the memories. Wedding and quinceañeras, obviously, they have video and photography. So yeah, different variables to the equation that just gets more complex. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, it seems that it just keeps on watering down the price. And that's why I like to, I'm using these politically correct words because I could use other ones, but I also don't want to come off as that fool, as the pinche chillon, as the jaded DJ, the one that just couldn't make it happen. So we have 5 players now, 5 jugadores que se atrevieron a participar en este juego hasta la muerte. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Is it realistic? Is it a fucking trick? What is it? What is it? Sometimes I just don't fucking know. I don't know if it's a cruel game and at the end of the day the price will just keep on going down and everything will keep on going up. Or if there'll be a breaking point at a certain point and DJs will say, fuck, man, we can't. We can't. We just can't keep doing this anymore at these prices. And you know what? Let me add something to here that I wanted to make its own episode. And I probably will. But let's add this to it. Now that we said, or at least now that I mentioned the whole thing of everyday life becoming more expensive. What the fuck is up with these barbers, bro? $40 a cut now? Standard? No, my man. I still need a cut every 2 weeks, every week and a half. So I'll keep it to that. But fuck, that's just crazy. But then where does that leave us? Everyone just increases their prices and what? Hyperinflation, you're paying like $1,000 that fucking is worthless for a fucking haircut. Like those countries that you fucking, it's a fucking un millón de pesos just for fucking who knows what? Un millón de who knows what? For a fucking loaf of bread? Está cabrón. So what do? How do we balance this out? How do we retrain clients? I'll stop right there. I don't even think that's possible. I don't know what it is. That's why, hopefully this conversation, hopefully someone can add to it if possible, your shit, because I only know what I know. And let me fill you in. It's not much. Nah, I'm selling myself short. A lot of this, I already know the answer to. But I'm a very hopeful person. I'm the dreamer. I'm one of those kids that grew up on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I'm one of those kids that believes so what can we do? ¿Qué podemos hacer? Join the conversation. Aunque sea, si es para decirme, hey, güey, ya cállate, güey. Should I add another player? Because recently I've come across 3 businesses, because that's what we are as DJs, is also, artists, businesses, chingo de cosas que somos. Fucking mamón. All right, let me bring myself up again. Yeah, no, I'm almost at the floor. Tengo la nariz toda tapada. Saca. Nah, but I'm not gonna name any names, because you'll know if you are this DJ. You'll know if you know DJs like this. And it's no hate. No hate at all. Puro amor. Puro amor. Let's work. If we can, No hate at all. And sometimes just when I say certain things, maybe I don't use the proper words and it might come off as something like that. But please do not take it like that. And this is to me the goals. I wish I had this. No fucking cap. The tag team, the duo, the husband and wife, the couple, the partners that handle the gigs together. It looks highly fucking effective to me. And especially if you guys have something in common like that you guys truly have a love for and a passion for, the way that I have for DJing, like that would be such an amazing relationship, because you don't ever get bored of talking about this shit. Like you always have a topic to talk about. Now you're the weirdo if if you're not really into DJing like that, because this has been an obsession of mine for a long time. DJing has been my obsession for such a long time, and I can only imagine having a partner that has the same fucking obsession. That's amazing. But that's another variable to this equation, to the scenario. That's a whole family riding on this business. So for ones, I feel that it's going to have a much higher probability of being successful, because there's more people in it that actually have the will and are putting the energy towards the success of this. And that's a beautiful fucking thing. Great things can be accomplished with that. And that's fucking awesome. But it adds to this equation. It moves the numbers around, which once again just make things super, super, super. I don't even know what the word is anymore, but just uncertain. The numbers could be interchangeable, so we just don't have a solid ground. And now let's kind of piggyback. I'm just going to be going in and out, but this is the beautiful thing I also see about the barbers, is that it's $40 across the board. So it doesn't fucking matter on their experience. it does matter now on how many clients they'll be able to see. So if you're not fast enough, then you're only going to get maybe a couple of those $40. But now if you're quicker, then it's different. So that's where the skill level comes in. But for us, if you're a starting DJ, your prices are going to be way fucking lower. And that is part of the game. I'm not hating on it. Once again, I was there. I was doing, fuck. Ya hasta vergüenza me da, but I was doing, $150 gigs, $30 an hour, 5 hours, $150. Not a wedding, but it was, it was a gig. And I'm sure, a veterano at that point was like, pinche vato mamón. But I was on, I was on the up and up. I was on the come up. You got to do what you got to fucking do. But you got to outgrow that. Yeah, that's another topic too. The DJs with experience. Well, no, not even this fucking topic. The DJs with experience that still don't mind charging less. And un compa me lo puso así. And it's 100% true. But te digo, it makes, te digo, this is the word now, just because I think I heard it in like the stock market. This is what makes everything volatile. Everything is everywhere. That's the word that I wanted to use earlier. Volatile. But it changes everything up. It changes everything up, and that's why there's no standard price. That's why we always, at least once a fucking year, we see that one fucking DJ meme price list pop up. Beginner DJ, intermediate DJ, pro DJ, and we all fucking share it like it actually means something, but then we all fucking end up charging puro pinche mamadas. Something has to fucking gig. Every profession cannot just charge more. Where does that money come from? It can't just come out of nowhere. That just devaluates everything. I know I said this shit on Instagram. We got to do we got to do the Peggy Goo business plan. Release one fucking record a year. Ride the shit out of it, promo it, market it perfectly, and you're set. Unlike these other producers that have to release something every month to remain relevant, which is a lie. But it happens. Like we instead of devaluating ourselves, we need to find a way to set a standard price for gigs. I mean, shit, in a perfect world, we'd be able to say, you know what? You're not ready for a fucking wedding. Imagine. Shit. Halt. Who goes there? You are not ready, sir. You are not. Please do not commence. Do not enter. Es la cosa. Would that still be considered the barrier of entry? Or no? That's how much it costs for you to actually become what you need to become, right? So then what is that? When there's the pricing is fucking all over the board. And unfortunately, as DJs, as artists, As I would like to think, just because, speaking for myself, as empaths, people that feel, sometimes we do see these prices and say, you know what, fuck, do I gotta be competitive too? And then once again, we devalue ourselves. It's all good. We're all learning here. We're all fucking learning. We're, we're trying to be better. But I may just be dreaming. I may just be dreaming of a world with value. Quién fucking sabe? Who knows? Who fucking knows? And that's where what started this journey. Questions. Who do I got to talk to? Who do I got to talk to get to the bottom of this? What can we do? What DJs are down to fucking play? And which ones of you are just fucking mamones? Which ones of you are just little cocksuckers? And this is where the unscripted part comes in. All of it's been off the dome today, but this is where the real FranXDecal comes out. Which ones of you are okay getting it all undercutting? Which one of you is the most competitive motherfucker out there? You competitive as competitor. I clearly stated in episode 1 that I am DJA. What do you do? Do you bite the bullet? Do you say fuck it? And possibly that's the answer. Possibly every level, every stage of your life, you're gonna have to fucking risk it all to get to that other level. But then to me that would mean that you're trying to, I don't even know. See, now I'm more perplexed. Because in my head I'm thinking, okay, are you out? Are you? Is this only you? You only in it for yourself? Does the DJ not mean anything to you? Because that title isn't synonymous to you. A lot of people carry that title before you, after you. So are you just in it for yourself? Fuck everyone else? That's where I get perplexed. Is it is it risking it all to level up? You have to fuck over some people? Or can you do it while bringing the culture up? Obviously, I only witnessed that era, and I'm sure a lot of you guys did the same thing and probably also heard it over, podcasts like the Road podcast and things like that. But the in the day of DJ AM, R.I.P. AM, that he set the president. Is that the way you say it? It's not president. I knows that, but he set the precedent. Damn, I thought you meant so. Oh fuck! I'm gonna fucking crack my tooth. But he set the fucking standard for how much DJs had to make. Maybe it takes a DJ AM type of mobile DJ to do that. But once again, are they willing to do that? Or is it just about them and them getting the gigs? Te digo. Maybe I'm not even fucking making sense anymore. But fuck it. I'll rewatch this when I upload it, and we'll 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 regather ourselves. And we'll be better for next episode. So we have 5 players: DJ A, DJ B, DJ A, the full-time DJ that dabbles in pretty much everything: clubs, lounges, bars, restaurants, does private events, special occasions, corporate events, a little bit of everything. DJ B, only difference between DJ B and DJ A is that DJ B decided to bet on themselves and invest in that beautiful setup, in those beautiful extras that DJ A has to rent from DJ B or a production company. Now we have DJ C, the production company itself. Not DJs, but a production company. They own all the gear. They book DJs. And they have the relationships with the venues. Now we got DJ D, player 4. The weekend warrior. The DJ that has a full-time job and only gigs on the weekends. 3 to 4 gigs a week. 3 to 4 gigs a month. And is able to self-fund their dream with another stream of income. Wait. Yeah, that was player 4. Player 5 is a mixture of all these players. Player 5 are the DJ Avengers. The DJs that click up, that team up to handle gigs, handle bigger gigs. Once again, all of this, the question at the end is, how is it affecting pricing? Who is going to get the gig and why? There's multiple outcomes to this gig and multiple realities. Multiple DJs got this gig. because a lot of things matter. But we're putting this scenario out there up front, pretty straightforward, and we're just having a conversation to see where it goes. So that is player 5, the DJ Avengers, a mixture of all the players that come together at certain events which affect pricing. Player 6, I guess technically it could be player 5 as well, but now this is just a little more detailed, and these are the DJs that are couples, are families, husband, wife, children, husband, wife, sorry, not even husband, wife, dad, son, brother. These are the families, once again, that to me is fucking goals. But these are the families that also provide DJ services and handle events. They're also able to be more competitive for this reason. They are more likely to succeed because there's more people betting on the home team. And not just betting, there's more people putting in the work. And that was what? Nah, no more fucking player, nothing but. That was the other contestant. So how do we get to a common ground? Can we, once again? Is it possible? ¿Quién sabe? ¿Quién sabe? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. But if it's not, what habits, what mindsets do you have to get out of and outgrow to be able to become the winner? What relationships do you have to build to get there? Some DJs may find it worth it, some may not. And I think most of the time I've asked myself that question, like, is it worth it? And the answer has been no in my head. And like I said yesterday, it's not the only way. It's not the right way. It is my way. Francisco. It's Francisco's way. It's DJ FranXDecal's way. And let me close because we're almost at an hour. But the goal or the reason behind this podcast is for that, to outgrow old mindsets. And even if it's not for me, maybe it'll work for you. Because once again, there's some of us that are willing to do certain things to get ahead. Some of us are raised, we're all raised differently. So some of us may not want to do certain things that others are okay with doing. But this is all part of the game. And like I said yesterday, also in the last episode, at the end of the day, even if you're being true to yourself, to a certain degree, it will be and it is limiting. Because the mindset that is getting you there, that frequency only gets to the people that are receptive to that frequency. So if you want to reach other people, you have to outgrow and learn a new frequency, if that makes sense. I'm telling you guys, these are the conversations I have in my head, and sometimes I have a question where I fucking figure out the answer, and the problem was me all along, and most of the time it is. But let's not call it a problem. Let's call it as, every day we get better. Every day we water ourselves to grow. And I guess at the end of the day, whatever is meant to be will be. So even if you want to be certain things, it might not happen. Who knows? Not sure how that part of life works. But what is meant to be will. It's what I hear. So yeah. Ya ni sé. But we introduce 3 more players to the equation. Let me just recap once again on the actual gig itself and why this. I mean, there's not even an actual reason why I chose weddings, even though I don't even do that many weddings, which is, which is part of this the whole thing. Now, is that because I'm not able to close on them? Is it because I'm getting outbidded by other DJs? Is it because my skill level isn't there? My content is not fucking there? Un chingo de cosas. Un chingo de cosas, and that's the truth. There's no one definitive answer. It's a multiple choice question. It's all of the above. But hold on. I don't even think I even said the scenario, and I think that's what I was going to explain right now, just to close things out. So we added 3 more players and the scenario to the gig, just so we close it out right now. 6-hour gig, wedding. That's what I was saying. There's no exact reason why I chose the wedding. I just felt that maybe this was more standard across the board instead of a birthday or things like that. But okay, a 6-hour wedding, ceremony, cocktail hour, reception, setup, facade, truss, tops, bottoms, uplights on the room, sparklers for formalities, entrance, and walking on cloud for first dance. DJ A quotes 300 an hour plus add-ons. 1,800 plus 6, 2,400 for a 6-hour gig. And that's being friendly. That's being very, very generous. DJB charges a package deal, 1,800 for the 6 hours. DJC charges up to $3,000 to $5,000. They're a production company. They own the gear. They book DJs. And they have relationships with venues. And sorry, let's backtrack a little bit. DJB, has gigs to pay back the investment that they put into the setup. But they also took out loans. They also maxed out credit cards, and they got to pay those monthly payments back. So this is just adding more things to, more variables to the equation. And we're trying to see if we can get to an answer or not. So that's A, B, and C. Player 4 now is the weekend warrior, the DJ hobbyist, the one that has another means of income, another source of income, and only DJs on the weekends. Does 3 to 4 gigs a week, and is also able to price themselves competitively. Yeah, at that point, ya no sé, I don't know what the actual price is, but I know just by experience that you're charging less because you're not worried that that 1 gig is not going to be, if you're going to pay your bills that month or not. Player 5, the mixture of all of them, multiple DJs that'll team up, multiple DJ A's, multiple DJ B's, an A, B, and C combo, DJs that'll team up to handle gigs. Once again, changing, the way the pricing is. All right, so if you watched the episode, then you know what we talked about. No more, going back in what we already talked. So I'll leave it at that. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you guys for tuning in. Episode 2, episode número 2. We added more players. The gig is the same. The scenario is the same. Who gets the gig? How much will they end up charging at the end of the, at the end of the gig? Is it beneficial? Does it pan out? Does everyone win? Or only a certain few? Los quiero mucho. Thank you. Muchísimas gracias. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Por favor. If you guys like this, send it to a DJ, even if it is to make fun of me. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Muchísimas gracias. And don't be afraid to join the conversation. A couple of the homies already told me, hey, man, I like the concept. We'll get better as we go. I feel like this episode went a lot better, a lot smoother. And that's, that's the goal. That's the plan. Can we get to a common ground where there's a standard price and it just goes up from there? Is that feasible? DJs, every, not even just DJs, every branch of the economy, fashion, health, every aspect, just increase their prices. Where does the money come from? But yeah. Muchas gracias. Nos vemos. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you guys. Adios. Adios. Bye guys. Buenas noches.